By pressing play, you've been transported to a dimension where there will be no apologies given for the abstract and asinine comments made here by the host and their guests. With that being said, thank you for listening and enjoy your experience.
We are Omnius.
We are slaying.
Are you ready?
For episode 24 of the most ridiculously random pop culture podcast in the 719. Yo, where the captions at? Yo, 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 yo. Where them captions at? Yo, 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 yo. Where they at though? You gonna find out on this episode. Guess what?
What?
It's another episode.
Oh, yeah,
yes, guys. Thank you for joining us again. I'm yours truly, Kills for Show, a.k.a. I got swords, but you can't have swords without the words, baby.
Oh, you bummy nigga.
And joining me always is...
the one and only Roscoe Tinkoya.
Yep, my bro host. And, of course, our engineer with us right now. No iCarly, but I can clearly see we wouldn't be here without him. That would be Daniel Rojas.
They call me Daniel because my parents said that was a nice name.
And they were wrong. You're a nice guy, but the name...
I wouldn't say I'm nice, but I'm cool as ice. I'm more or less streets ahead, so they call me Miles Morales, so they call me Daniel LLC. So...
Ooh, okay. I know
Stolen bars.
I know my touch.
Stolen bars.
After watching Freaknik, I gotta be, the fruit punch bowls?
Sweet Tea Mob?
No, the
other one.
Fruit Boys.
The Fruit Bowl Boys.
This is a song about jail.
Oh, it's so hard trying to keep my booty tight through the night. Yes. And joining us today is a special guest of ours, one of our oldest friends. We went to high school together. If you know anything about Club Zion back then, them Smart Tech days, them days when we was out there getting drunk and burnettes and all that, it's none other than one, the only. I call him a name. You might call him a name. His name is...
Kevin? It's Kevin. Hold on, Kevin. The coolest thing ever.
Yes, that's right. You heard him. It's that boy Kevin Davenport. What up, man? How you doing today?
Good, man. Good.
That's what's up. Oh, I love this shit, man. I love this shit. Like, yo, for everybody listening for the first time, it be like this. So before we get into the whole show in itself, how's everybody's day going right now? How's everybody doing?
I mean, I took a nap before I got here. Well, before we record, so.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Doing energized.
Yeah.
Naps are happening.
Got some court stuff tomorrow, so, I'm living on the edge.
Word. The edge of glory or the edge of tomorrow?
I'm hoping glory, but if it's the bad one, it's going to be edge of tomorrow.
And if it's a bad one, you're going to be on the edge of a glory hole.
The good end or the bad end?
It depends on how I feel.
There you go. Woo, baby.
You basically said they're both the good end is what I'm getting at. Okay, all right.
The good place indeed. Chitty, bang, bang.
Cheaty, bang, bang.
That's what I said.
I said chitty.
No, chitty.
Cheaty.
Chitty.
They're both saying the same thing, right?
Word.
I don't know.
Pretty sure.
All right, guys. So we're going to start off with the first topic of the show. Yo, what's popping?
What be popping?
And we're about to find that out because this is part of the show where we talk about headlines and things from pop culture that happened over the last week. And since we do record on Mondays, but you won't hear this shit until Friday, you already know that we have to go ahead and talk about this. And yeah, we just had to say RIP, like, for real. Chadwick Boseman died at the age of 43.
42, actually. He's not 43 until November. That was, I don't know why they rounded up.
A bunch of misprints.
Wow, yeah, because I've been seeing 43 everywhere.
Yeah.
Me too.
So he died at the age of 42, just like the Jackie Robinson movie? Mm-hmm. Wow.
You think that would have been a better headline
Absolutely.
to put in there.
But they rounded up for whatever reason.
Yeah, well, yes, Chadwick Boseman, he's passed. He played Jackie Robinson. He played James Brown. But the geek culture will always and forever know him and miss him and adore him as T'Challa, the Black Panther, Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever.
So,
Wakanda.
What's that chant he does?
Umbaye?
Umbaye.
Umbayo.
Mbaye.
Umbaye.
T'Challa lo, T'Challa lo, T'Challa lo, T'Challa lo. Yes. So how do you guys feel about it? Like, do you want to talk about that, Davenport?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's one of those things where you get a character that you really like to, and they're gonna have to replace him with somebody because they're gonna keep going. You know what I mean? And it's like, are you even gonna want them to replace him? But they're gonna have to, and it's like I don't even really want them to replace somebody like that, and it's just gonna be difficult, man.
Yeah, business must go on, just like the show. Ross?
Yes, it was a sad thing as well as just a sad moment in Black history regardless. A lot of tributes went out for him, especially on Sunday night's wrestling payback, especially all in one match. Apollo Crews throwing up the Wakanda Forever before hitting the fly moonsault. MVP Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin throwing up Wakanda Forever after Bobby Lashley winning the belt as a photo shoot tribute.
Oh, so he beat Apollo Crews for the belt?
Yeah.
Word. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, it's like one of them things you don't like. That's a phrase that gets thrown around. Like, you never expect that, but that's life. You can't expect everything. Who's gonna expect not to be here tomorrow? Like, who woke up that day like, oh, I'm expecting this person not to be around.
Not only was it a sad day for American history, it was also a sad day for like Black geek culture and Black geek history, because growing up in this generation, so there's a lot of Black kids that are geeks and everything, and they're able to express it openly. But beforehand, it was a hard thing for us. Black geek community was large, but yet kept secret. A lot of people never talked about how much they like certain things because of stigma. And it was even more harder for us fans that really we had Black representation in comics, but we didn't have that Black representation in comic media. And everybody knew, even from those fans that like Black Panther, like T'Challa had to come and make his debut. So we've waited patiently since Iron Man and the first Captain America. We knew this was coming, even to the pure fact that Ultron and Crane gave us even more hints to it has to come.
Word, yeah, it's like with Ultron, then they introduced Claw in it with the vibranium. So it's like, oh shit, they put Claw in it. They talking about vibranium. It only comes from one place. It's not like Sony where you could make a Venom movie about Spider-Man. You can't include vibranium in the Marvel universe without Wakanda. You ain't gonna do that. As soon as that little Easter egg is dropped, we already know where that was gonna go. And it happened, and Black Panther became one of the biggest movies of all time, and it showed the world the power of the black dollar. And we will see movies with ourselves, because unlike a lot of the world, we do love us. And no matter how they try to misconstrue or construct this idea that we are constantly tearing each other down, we're not. Some people will always tear down people, but when we rise, when one person rise, we all come up. And that's just one of the things too. It hits different, because especially with my birthday coming up and we're at my crib just celebrating just life and being together. It's just you don't know when you might not have that again, and it just makes me happy. I did live long enough to see Black Panther, and just seeing that movie for myself made me feel a way. And just imagining how it feels to be a young Black kid seeing that movie and be like, yo, I can be a hero. I could be a movie star. I could be something that brings people together, not just in my race, but around the world, because of Chadwick Boseman. You already touched on his effect in the wrestling Sunday. What else was going on with wrestling?
Roman Reigns came back and won the Universal Championship. And not only did we just have great Black representation that night, we heard the rumor of Vince McMahon liking Keith Lee. A lot of people thought this Randy Orton was going to beat Keith Lee, but no. Vince McMahon really likes Keith Lee. He gave him a clean victory win over Randy Orton, as well as just announced today on Monday, Brock Lesnar is a free agent. The wrestling industry is now going to be set
so
ablaze.
There's a possibility
that Brock Lesnar can go to AEW or appear and go back to New Japan, where New Japan has been trying to make a American stand in their wrestling for the American culture.
Word. And Davenport, you wrestled in high school. Do you follow any of like WWE or anything like that still, or?
I haven't been following it too much for quite a while, but I see all the. I still get a Facebook feed full of all the updates of like this happened and like all the highlight reels and stuff like that, and then just this happened this week, so it'll show like a championship match or something. And I'll always watch 3-4 minutes and see what happened and stuff. So I'm a little bit on it, but not a lot. And wrestling in high school is a little bit different.
Word. And the reason why I asked, like, growing up watching wrestling, was that one of the reasons that made you want to actually wrestle, like, in high school and things like that? Or was there something else?
Honestly, wrestling in high school was, it was just after school, and you remember Lamar McCree?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Lamar came up to me, and he was like, I didn't have anything, like, football season was over, we played football together, and then he was like, I'm going to go to wrestling practice, you want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just what got me in, and then I got really into it, wrestled those 4 years. But I kept up with WWE and WCW from like 6th grade through high school and stuff, and then that's kind of when I fell out of it, when like a lot of the people you really grow up to like and stuff go on to do other stuff, and they're not featured and stuff anymore, and they bring new people in. Like I probably stopped watching right when John Cena got there, when he had the blue tights on, and like was just like, he wasn't John Cena then.
He just knew.
Look, this is John Cena. And you're just like, all right. And they put him in big matches and stuff like that. One of the cool things that I really liked that came up was when The Miz went in there, because I remember watching Real World New York with him, and he always talked about wanting to be a wrestler.
Like
and then
we all did.
Then you see him come on there, and you're like, what's going on? And then he didn't even make it. He got like 2nd place, and then the 1st place guy got in some kind of PR.
Was that Maven?
No, Maven was still... No. Maven won the year before that one, I want to say.
But the 1st place guy got in some kind of trouble to where they fired him, and then they picked up Miz as the 2nd place, and then he became a superstar. He became a superstar, literal superstar champion. You know?
Exactly, because the same moment you stopped watching wrestling was the same moment I did as well, because I came back into it. I can't remember exactly when, but it was when Cena was the USA champ, and he introduced the spinner belt. But all of that after was the invasion with WCW coming over and all that. For some reason I just wasn't watching wrestling, but then I just got back into it, and that's like one of the things too. It's always fascinating just to turn it on to see what's going on now, who's popping, and what old person's still around doing what. But yeah, that's
Ric Flair never left.
Ric Flair never left the wrestling game. Like he left like WWE, but he came back and all this stuff. But wrestling's not wrestling without Ric Flair, and I'm not gonna get all depressed in it. But I'm gonna enjoy Ric Flair as long as we have him, man.
Yeah, that fake thing. Ric Flair died for a little bit, and you're like, no, he didn't.
Yeah,
there's no way. I just saw him on WWE last night.
Word.
You know what I mean?
You're gonna enjoy him until Shawn Michaels comes and puts him back down again. Old
Yeller Shawn Michaels got his back right now.
The Old Yeller style.
Yo, but that was that was one of the greatest matches too. Like that shit had to be done. And Ric Flair said like if anybody was gonna do it, he wanted Shawn. Like he told Shawn personally. And speaking of things that I've been waiting to see or been on my mind for a long time, just like watching Ric Flair, the New Mutants finally came out. That movie is real. You can go to theaters or buy a theater that's actually open and check out the movie. I haven't seen it. I want to see it. I just need to figure out when and where.
What do we have open here? I heard they were opening 4 theaters here. Right?
I don't even know. I didn't even think about checking. Like that's how.
Tinseltown's open.
I was gonna say Tinseltown most likely.
Kimball's is about to be open again.
Cinemark up north probably.
Mm-hmm.
Howard's the IMAX?
Powers are
I think maybe one of the ones over on Interquest.
The Interquest, yeah.
The Interquest one in Hollywood.
Something like that.
Yeah, but I also think that they're following. If we don't do it, I want to see due to the rights and the contract of New Mutants releasing. It should be on streaming services 75 days after it ends off in movies.
Would it be in it?
That'd be like December.
It should be on Disney Plus too, right? Cause
no, it's not going to Disney Plus. It will go straight to HBO Max.
Because New Mutants was signed to Fox and their deal before Disney bought
And
Fox out.
HBO
But didn't Disney take the rights to it, and they're the ones?
Yeah,
releasing
but contractually they still have to go through the contract.
Yeah, through the contract, they were. The reason why we have it in theaters was it was signed in the contract that it had to release in theaters, as well as taking some somehow HBO bought the streaming rights before while
It's because it has Maisie Williams
all
in
the
it.
shit.
They own her.
And it's just like how when Disney Plus dropped, all the Marvel movies weren't on there either. That's why you still have some
they had,
films on like
Thor
Netflix.
on Netflix.
Yeah, because they had to wait
They
till
still
that.
had a contract.
Yeah,
for it.
so it's,
Yep.
it's just like that.
But yet also talking in this whole 75-day deal, rumored is Mulan, which releases on Friday today, which is, if you're listening on the release date, should be going free to stream by December 4th via their own mess up because of their website page when they were promoting for Mulan that went up live this weekend. I guess people spotted it and saying that multiple different languages would go active December 4th. People came to deduct that that's technically when they're going to allow it
Free for everybody.
free for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I said.
And
Right now it's like $25 if you do the
30.
Like
30, yeah.
30.
Guys, but yeah, the headline I saw said that Mulan will be free for all those with Disney Plus on December 4th.
Yeah,
Well, I was thinking $30 was a bunch, but then if you think about it, it's like if you watch it with 3 people, that's $10 a movie ticket. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of the same deal, but I'm gonna wait till it's free.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like, shit. Like,
I'll wait, even though I want to see it.
like $30 versus the $8 I would spend on myself. Like, I'm
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I got the animated one.
I don't know
Eddie
how
Murphy.
I don't know how they're doing that one because they showed the previews and it doesn't like Lion King and Aladdin were both like shot for shot remakes of the
Damn near,
originals.
yeah.
But if you look at the previews for Mulan, basically the entire preview was not in the original movie.
Exactly.
Like they
There's
had these
also
weird
no
fighting
Mushu.
scenes. Yeah, I heard
And no
there's
cricket.
Mushu at all. I don't know why they wouldn't put Mushu in it. Like that wouldn't be a difficult thing to do.
They wanted it to be more serious.
Yeah, they want
Yeah,
to
it
be
seems
more.
like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon feel to
Exactly.
it.
Well, I want to say the stunt team from Crouching Tiger is working on it.
Well, that had to happen, but yeah, they didn't want to be as fantastical. They want to make it more
Realistic
historically
and
accurate.
Which
And
honestly
plus-
might make it better as a live action.
and make it
Honestly.
very different. So you won't hear people saying like, "Well, they just made the cartoon live. Why
I wanna
why
do
would you
that. I
do
wanna
it?"
just
Like
wanna
people
do
said
that.
about like
Lion
Lion
King.
King. But also by not having Mushu, we don't have to have Kevin Hart voice Mushu either, which I knew they would have did.
They didn't have you do it.
No, they ain't have me do it. Boy, my rate's too high. I need that back end on that. Nigga, I would play the cricket though. I'm like, yo.
Get that money, you'd be like Vin Diesel saying, "I am Groot," and that's it. Dude.
I'm like, whatever cricket sound like. Chirp, chirp,
No,
baby,
that's,
chirp, chirp.
that's exactly what it sounded like in the movie. I thought I was watching Mulan again. You
Like,
did
is
it.
that Kelsey?
Perfect. Perfect.
Credits.
Perfect.
Oh, shit.
They did have Christina Aguilera do a song for it, though, if you guys saw that.
Reflection.
Yeah,
Yes.
Reflections.
No, she did it. She did a brand new song. for the
Yes.
new
Oh,
one.
she got 2
So she's
singles
not
on
doing
there?
Reflection?
No,
No,
she
don't
did that.
think so. I don't even know if they'll have that song in there.
It was in one of
Honestly.
the trailers, but it was instrumental.
Yes.
Yeah, they had her do a brand new song for it. Like they had a music video of Christina Aguilera now singing it. Look
Yes.
good. Look good.
Oh,
It sounded
Because when it first came out, she had a song, but then this week new music came out and she had another song. It would have been on the playlist, but I was like, nah, I'm not putting this one. Not this one. It was decent. Like, contrary to popular belief, I don't put every song that comes out on the playlist. Speaking of the playlist, YWDCA 8 is the playlist for this month. And some new songs that are on there are the new one by the Smashing Pumpkins, The Color of Love. That was a cool bop. Sheryl Crow has a new song called In the End. Kind of political, but not really, but yeah, it is. Good Morning by Black Thought, Pusha T, Swish Beats, and Killer Mike. That song is fire. And once again, for all the people out there saying that there's no real hip-hop left, people ain't really rapping.
There go a whole track full of real rappers.
Lyricists, some of the best rappers in the history of rap are on there doing their thing. And of course, you know, it's on Spotify. If you don't already follow it, go ahead and make sure you follow it. And I listened to most of Jaden Smith's new album, and it's definitely a mood. It's more chill. It's not like wake up in the morning, start my day type music. It's definitely more of like a Sunday afternoon, rainy day, clean my house type, drink hot cocoa type vibe. But it's still Jaden Smith. He is the Messiah. He's the future. I fucks with him.
Europe.
Shit, anything else pop culture wise anybody want to bring up?
I mean, you know, I'm into gaming. There is a new couple new games out that
yeah.
came out recently.
Speak to that.
One of the big ones is called Fall Guys. You guys know that You been playing that too?
Wait, are they like anemic? Have like diabetic? Have enough sugar so they just pass out? Type?
No,
They claymation.
exactly.
Word.
No, it's basically, since the whole battle royale thing came out, it's a battle royale style game, but it's not a shooter or anything like that. You're basically a jelly bean, okay? And there's 60 other jelly beans.
Like Jughead's sister? Damn.
Yeah. Basically, all you can do in the game is jump and
Grab.
you can grab other players, and you can jump, and when you jump, you can push a button to push yourself forward just a little bit. But so you start with 60 people, and it usually starts with a race. The top 40 people go on to the next round. Then there's 40 people in the next round, and then it's a random game that you play. And then it could be like, there's like one called DoorDash, where you go, there's like 6 doors in front of you. You can only knock down like 3 of them to get through. So you can jump up and not go through, and then you go through one, and then there's 5 doors, and you have to be the top 40 to get through that one.
So Uber Eats isn't suing them for the DoorDash name because they own DoorDash now, and no way in hell they let these motherfuckers get that off.
The DoorDash app is one word. This is 2 words.
Oh, see, I knew it was something. That's the
words. 2
caveat.
words.
And since we about to be an official business / network, we gotta figure out those little minute details of just like trademarking your name and copywriting shit too. Because anybody could be like, well, I spell mine like this. Just like with Vanilla Ice was like, nah, my song go dun 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 dun. But that old David Bowie was like dun 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 dun. I'm like, nah, bro, that's the same thing, man.
Too close.
And another thing about video games was that Fortnite drop, or it didn't drop, but the Marvel.
I was like, what?
But there was it a Marvel expansion
not
pack?
new
What
news.
is
It's not a
Is
expansion
it DLC?
pack.
What do
It's
the
a
kids
battle-
call it?
It's a
I
battle
don't know, man.
pass.
That game's too.
It's
So you don't-
it's
That game's
just-
too young for me, man.
It's
Okay.
just another cross. All it is Marvel had their 3rd crossover with Fortnite.
Word.
Yeah, because they did.
That is,
they
I'm
did
saying
a-
it's the latest one.
They did a
Yeah.
Thanos one. Where
Yeah,
you
I
can-
remember that
You can
one.
get the fist and be Thanos.
Yeah.
Basically.
They did a Deadpool one that I saw CJ playing.
Word.
And he didn't know what Domino's real name was, and that was so disappointing.
Nina.
No.
I
Word.
know.
Ja, man. No.
But yeah, so basically, the Fall Guys is a BR because it ends up being the last person standing wins. So
BR meaning.
Battle
Royale.
Royale.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So once you get to the final stage, it's against like 10 to 15 people, and then the last person standing on the final stage could be a race to grab a crown, or you're the last one that doesn't fall off a stage, and you end up getting first place. So
It's so much fun.
Yeah, it's taken over. Like all the big streamers were playing it. It had
Yeah.
some of the most views on Twitch overall.
Ninja fucking with it?
Ninja ain't no
I don't
Twitch
even.
no more.
I don't even know what Ninja's doing. Well,
Ninja-
Me, I just know the name. I just
Ninja-
said. I don't know who the fuck.
so Ninja signed a big contract with Mixer.
Okay.
For 2 years, got a bunch of money, and then
Mixer failed.
Mixer went under after
to you-
Mixer's owned by
Facebook now.
Yeah, it went to Facebook, but it used to be Microsoft. So Microsoft was trying to mess with Twitch, owned by Amazon. So they bought some of the big streamers. Ninja and Shroud were the 2 big names, but they both got paid for the rest of their contracts anyway because it went under. And they were like, "We'll double your contract to move with Mixer to Facebook, or you can take the rest of your money and then be
Just
basically
do
a
whatever
free
you
agent."
want.
So
They took all that
yeah.
money and said,
Shroud streaming again. I don't know what Ninja's doing. I haven't seen him.
Ninja's been
but-
MIA. So Shroud
Yeah.
went to Facebook?
No, Shroud's
Shroud went back to
Shroud's back
Twitch.
on Twitch.
Okay.
But yeah, basically all the big streamers, biggest names, were playing Fall Guys.
Yeah, baby.
Y'all stupid.
This called business right here. We, like I said, we don't talk some business after this.
We're looking at YouTube like,
Yeah,
more
for real.
properties.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, talk about own it. We gonna own some niggas.
Yo, awesome.
Wait, did we just travel back to 1852? What just happened?
No.
Oh, time is relative.
And not only did that game come out, as of today, Monday, since we were recording, Marvel's Avengers game has, for everybody that's already bought into it, has already been able to be played early access. As well as a fun fact, last week Wasteland 3 came out, and I found out that they're traveling into Colorado, but their end goal is to make it to the Springs.
It's a whole thing. This would be a safe haven.
They do a lot of stuff with Colorado Springs on a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah.
There's definitely a lot. I was thinking about making a list of just like Colorado Springs is in this one.
Make sure
Colorado
you
Springs
check
is
it
this one,
twice
is-
though.
And this
Air
is like the
Force.
second.
It's
This
a
is,
Borat.
Claus now? What are you doing?
this is like the second. This is like the second time I know of Colorado Springs being somewhat mentioned into another game because of Forza 2.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Forza 2 is all based in Colorado.
Word. And with that being said, that's been Yo It's Poppin'.
It's Poppy.
Yeah, and if you already know what the show is, we about to head on to Yo We Geeking Out, which is We Geeking, and that's a part of the show where we and our guests, if we have one, we geek out about a certain anime, movie, book, or wherever a pop culture IP we want to discuss about. And today we're gonna be geeking out about Demon Slayer.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
I couldn't say it any better, baby. Yes, Demon Slayer, which is like the hottest new anime / manga out there in these streets. It's a Shonen Jump. Am I correct? It's a Shonen Jump product.
It's a Shonen. Yeah.
Word. And yes, it's so Shonen that I refer to the main character as D2, aka Deku 2, because I look at him and just see Midoriya. It's just like the hair, the face, and even like the color of his jump off. I'm like, yeah, and first 5 episodes, all he was doing was fucking crying. I was like, here we go again. And I kind of felt that same way with Black Clover. With who's the main character? Asta. Asta, like, oh, here we go, another Naruto, just whiny ass kid wandering around. Gotta be the best he can be, but nobody respects him.
I do say Demon Slayer's a little bit different on that.
Yes.
I'd say Demon Slayer, the main character, Tanjiro, is a little bit. I feel like he's more like the secondary character in some of these shows. Like in Naruto, you got Sasuke.
Yes.
In Black Clover, you got Yuno. He's like the cool one and like the strongest one. You know what I mean? Like the other ones are underdogs. I'd say Tanjiro's more like he's a little bit of that underdog, but he's still like out of the people that he associates himself with, the other Slayers, he's the strongest one, and he's like he's the smartest one, and like he's not that just charge in and do stuff like Naruto was, like Asta is. Like most of these anime just have their main characters a little bit more childish.
Yeah.
And he's like the eldest son and takes on that role as I'm the eldest son, I need to be the adult, I need to do everything right. And I like that little different take on a main character than Midoriya and Asta and Naruto and
he's
those
definitely
kind of characters.
Yeah, he's definitely more level-headed than most of the shonen protagonists. Like, he had his responsibility. He was like the older brother. Well, not the oldest sibling, but he was like the older brother, and his responsibilities, he always made sure they were taken care of. He also made sure that his village was sound as well. And then the shit that transpired, a demon came through, wiped out everybody, and his sister ends up getting transformed into a demon in the process.
I did like how the whole, like, the first episode shows him going to the village, and it's like an hour walk away, 2 hour walk away, and he's going to get supplies, and everybody in the village respects him too. Like, they all want him to solve their problems, even though he's still a kid. He's, I think, 13 14 years old.
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah,
that normal anime age.
Yeah, exactly. Middle school is where it's always popping in middle school in Japan for some reason.
For real. Elementary school? Not enough.
Not enough.
Unless you're a little girl.
Actually, was Mob Psycho? Was he in elementary school?
13. He was 14.
He was also 13. But yeah, that's just how. I mean, then you look at Bleach, and he looks like he's 22, but he's also in middle school. But he's a,
wait. Ichigo in middle school?
Yeah.
I thought he was at least like a senior of
the most oldest, the
high
only
school.
oldest person in Shonen Jump history that I could know of
From Jump
is
Street.
Light.
From Jump Street.
Yeah, but it's middle school goes to 9th grade there.
Goes
so
to
it's
9th
like,
grade, yeah. So like,
they're like
Ichigo
the
was
seniors
a
there.
freshman technically.
But any sports anime you see is always a freshman, so 8th or 10th grade in Japan, because they got to have the next 2 years to grow, you know.
Exactly, and that's one thing too. Like culturally, like they say, like, oh, middle school or something like this, or grade 9. I'm like, wait, I got to do some conversion like metrics to fucking to feet and shit. Like, hold on, what Celsius Fahrenheit? Like, how old are you? You're doing what? All right, and plus it doesn't help when they draw them like full-grown adults as well.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much every
what
time.
The fuck is really going on?
Yeah. But Demon Slayer coming out last year too as the best anime in like a sea of great anime, with Dr. Stone coming out, Promised Neverland came out, Goblin Slayer, Fire Force came out, Dr. Stone, did I say that? I did say Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone was so good.
You might be Dr. Stone. That was the way your memories were. You might
Rising the Shield Hero was another amazing one.
That's the one you told me about too. That's on my list.
There's just 5-6 anime that came out last year that would have been the best anime almost any other year. You know what I mean? And Demon Slayer being on the top is why it's definitely worth seeing and talking about. So it's just a really good one.
Hell yeah. And one of the things I do, like a lot that makes Demon Slayer stand out is the visual art style. Like they
Yes.
have very heavy outline lines in it, so it flows away, and they take it very seriously. The background as well.
Yeah, the background is so detailed. It's just like, I just want this scene for a painting. I just want.
Yeah.
Like-
Most of the scenes are like that.
Exactly, just like the episode when we were talking about outside with the house and how the rooms were changing. Every time they went to a room, the room was damn near like photographic to the details. And even when they were doing like visual effects with it spinning upside down or around, it never lost its quality in the art style. And watching a lot of anime, you know how quickly they won't give a fuck about background or eating or
Even
some
side characters that you can't recognize anymore because they're in the
Yeah.
background.
Exactly, like
Yep.
damn, no. But Demon Slayer, they pay attention
Every
to that
scene,
detail.
yeah. It's one of those anime too that, and I feel one of the best qualities of a good anime is continuously growing the characters. So like they show him fight something, he's too weak, so he trains, and then he uses the new skills he gets to go to a next level, and then he needs to train some more, and then he fights some more, and it just keeps growing. And after every battle, and it flows really nicely into each battle too, and it just flows into more training to get stronger, new ability, and just the way they flowed the entire anime made it easy to watch and just overall the best qualities that you can find in an anime.
Yeah, like they kept his same personality course the same, but yet they just was like, yay. Unlike other animes where everything's still the same, rinse, watch, and repeat. It's like, yeah, everything's semi the same, but yet he's growing, so you're seeing him gain more knowledge, show more precise in his attacks, show more care for his sister and the people around them, make sure that things are right. He's becoming more of a man every episode instead of just like, I can't beat this person, I'm gonna get stronger, now I'm beating them, boom, bye bye. He has reasoning, and you can see the thought process of him getting stronger every time.
Yeah, and the whole reason for him becoming a demon slayer is to find the main demon who can turn people into demons and try to figure out a way to turn his sister back from a demon into a person. And that's his goal throughout the whole thing. It never like wavers. Like other anime will go off their main goal for quite a while, but his main focus is always the same thing. Like, I'm getting stronger to go do this, the same exact thing. And they focus on the side characters really well too. Zenitsu is a little crybaby kid that's always crying, and you think he's like the biggest bitch you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But in the house scene where they're in the house that's changing rooms, they have another little kid that he's supposed to be protecting, but he's like crying, trying to tell this kid to protect him basically, and a demon comes out and he passes out, and he just goes beast mode, lightning saber, slices the demon in one shot, and then wakes up and he's like, ask the other kid, you did that? You're so strong. And like he doesn't even know that he did it, but he ends up being, you could tell he's going to be super strong. And then by the end of the series, he does a bunch of training too, to where they haven't shown him like use that skill while he's conscious, but you know it's going to come. And they left it on a nice cliffhanger, which the movie's supposed to come out, where basically had the lower 6 demons, the main demon dude killed all of them. He was like, you guys are too weak. And
You talking about Michael Jackson?
yeah, Michael Jackson went full transformation and turned to a chick because Tanjiro found out his identity, so he completely transformed into, he's like a girl character now. Anyway, so
Yo, SP's like, because yes, I said it's not the real Michael Jackson, but the character's name is Muzan, if I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Yeah.
But he's drawn to basically look like Michael Jackson from the Smooth Criminal video.
yes, exactly like it.
In the form he's currently in the first season.
Yeah, and then so he Tanjiro fights one of the main demons. He fights one of the lower 5, which is ridiculously strong, right? He can barely beat him. He has to pull out the most ridiculous move. He's about to die, and they were just talking about, I really like how they did it. Basically a flashback. An episode before, one of the Hashira was talking about when you're about to die, your life flashes before your eyes because you're looking for a way to survive the situation. And then the next episode, Tanjiro's about to die, and it goes back into his memory, and he sees his dad doing this dance, and he uses that dance to get a new attack form.
New water form?
it was a fire form.
Oh,
he was
what?
doing a fire dance, and he slices through and chops off the demon's head, and that's the end of that episode. The next episode starts. He didn't actually chop off his head. The demon, because in Demon Slayer you have to chop off a demon's head with their swords, with the demon slaying sword.
Yeah.
So the demon's like, I sliced my own head off before you sliced me and put it back together. So you're so hyped at the end of the episode that it's about to be so amazing, and then it starts the next one like it didn't even happen.
Like, psych, got your ass.
So then the dude that saves him in the first episode just comes and one-shots that demon. It's nothing. And you're like, so these are the lower five. These are supposed to be some of the strongest demons.
Yeah.
And he just one-shot him, and you're like, so how do they even have any type of competition at all?
Exactly.
But then, so like I said, last episode, he kills off 4 of the last lower 6, keeps one of them alive because he liked his attitude and pumped him with more of his own blood to make him a more super demon.
Yeah.
And that super demon is the train saga that's supposed to come up in a movie. Tanjiro and his 2 friends go on this train, and that demon that he just superpowers is supposed to be on the train too. And this is after they did a bunch of training, so that's what the next movie is going to be about. It's supposed to come out at the end of the year.
Word.
So it's going to be really good. And but they also said the upper 6 demons, he was like, those are the ones that kill Hashira all the time. So the strongest demon slayers get, so that the disparity between the lower and upper is insane. It's like Super Saiyan 3 Goku compared to Super Saiyan Goku.
Word.
You know what I mean? It's that much of a different power level.
Damn.
It's how they're setting it up to be. So we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be really good, and I hope they get the movie out and new season coming out pretty soon after, because that was already, it ended last year, middle of the year, I think.
I want to say middle of the year.
And they've already come out with new seasons of stuff that came out last year, and I'm just they need to get on that one.
Hell
But
yeah.
again, like we were talking about, the art it takes a while to do that.
Yeah,
the
that
art. You know
style,
what I mean?
yeah.
It probably takes a while to
It's gonna
pump
be
something
well
nice out
worth
like
the
that.
wait.
Yes.
So basically, I'm assuming that Tanjiro and Zenitsu will basically become the upper echelon of Demon Slayers, because it's anime.
They
So
should
they
become the Hashira at some
by the
point.
end,
Yeah,
everything's all said and done. They're gonna be right up there. It's like that new crop, that new generation.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be
and their other friend too, Inosuke, with the
Inosuke.
boarhead.
The
kid.
boarhead, yeah.
And he trained with him too in that last little training segment, and they all kind of ended at the same point where they were at the same level,
More or less.
Tanjiro was way ahead of him, and they
Yeah.
kind of gave up, and then they saw how well Tanjiro was doing. They were like, we got to get on it.
For reals.
They did a breathing technique, like you see them when they breathe to do their attacks.
That's one of the things
And-
too about that show. Is the breathing. He's like, I'm on the water, but since I trained in the fucking forest, now I know how to breathe well, and I can smell shit from 3 weeks ago. You're the demon.
They made him hold that breath the entire day, and even while they're sleeping, and that was kind of their training. And they could barely do it for did you watch Hunter x Hunter?
Yes.
Some of it.
So when they're figuring out the nen, and they have to hold it for 3 hours, and they can barely hold it for 10 minutes. It's kind of the same thing, but they have to hold it all day when they could only do it for 10, 15 minutes to start. So it's just that much stronger.
Yeah, the fact that you brought up Hunter made me realize that's another thing too about shonen shit. It's rare that the main character is the fan favorite.
Very rarely the fan favorite.
Tanjiro. I'm just thinking about I like Tanjiro. I really do.
Yeah, he probably is the best character on the show. But My Hero Academia, everybody likes somebody different.
Yeah, even with Hunter x Hunter, my boy Killua and other buddy.
Karapika?
Yeah, Karapika. That's the story right there.
Yeah.
Man, you ain't miss, your daddy gone for a reason. I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about all these other motherfuckers around you. They
Same
got
with Naruto. Kakashi was my favorite character.
Rock Lee Gara.
The side character is always the best, and this one they
Exactly.
made the main character
Like,
the
for real.
favorite character.
But-
Even though the other ones are good too,
Yeah.
the character development in the show is really, really good. But he's definitely the best one and the main focus.
Hell yeah, and I should have known that fucking Demon Slayer was popping, because as soon as it came out, because I follow a lot of cosplayers on Instagram, all these females were dressing like was it Nezuko? Yeah, Nezuko. I'm like, what the fuck is this from?
Who is this?
Who is this? Why everybody got something in their mouth? All the girls were doing that. Then I started watching. I'm like, oh, I get that shit now,
Yeah.
man. And that's one thing too. I think a lot of anime art directors keep it in mind is the cosplay ability of the character designs too. Even with superhero movies too, I think that's a thought that goes in their head too. Because what's
How
more,
easy is it?
Yeah, what's
to
more brandable?
copy this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like let's make it unique and something that would be easy but also recognizable when you do cosplay. Like
Yeah.
because that's why they always tweaking like Captain America's costume, for example. Every movie is different for merchandise, and so they can like, all right, if you cosplaying as them, now you could cosplay as this version and that version. And that's
Yeah,
one
so
thing.
they have to make new ones, and then they have to rebrand it, all that stuff. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I wanted to say too, when I rewatched Hunter x Hunter, I just rewatched that like last month too.
On what service?
They have it on Netflix, but they only have up till before the Ant Saga, so through Greed Island.
Yeah.
And then, so what I wanted to say was I always gave you crap for watching dubbed.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I watched it on Netflix, I watched it dubbed. One, because I'd already seen it.
Yeah.
And two, like, it's nice to be able to do other stuff, look at your phone if you want
Yeah.
to, do some other things while
We
you're
always do.
watching it. Hunter x Hunter did a good job with the dub, but then, so it only went to Greed Island, and then I had to watch the rest on Crunchyroll, which didn't have it dubbed, only subbed. So I had to watch that bit subbed, and I was like,
Fuck, I gotta focus.
I gotta focus and pay attention the whole time. So I always gave you crap for that, and I'm like, you know what? If it's a good dub and they did well on the
Yeah.
voices, it is definitely worth watching it dubbed as well. Because you'll watch an anime subbed and then watch it dubbed, and then when you watch it dubbed, you do other stuff because you already know the
Exactly.
story, and you can just listen to it, which is also really nice.
Hell yeah. That's why we be like, yo, where the captions at? I'm trying
Oh,
to.
I always have captions. People give me so much crap for captions, dude.
Welcome to the party,
put
baby.
captions
Yes.
on everything.
Exactly.
I went to an Airbnb with a bunch of people and like turned on the captions. Like, what are you doing? You can read everything.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff that you miss because it wasn't there. There's background stuff that you'll see,
Exactly.
and it'll say like background, say something. You're like, you can't even hear it,
Exactly.
and you see it, and then words that you thought they said something different, or like a name that's spelled differently.
Exactly.
Like,
Or-
captions are where it's at.
Exactly. Or with music, like, I want to know what song this is. I don't have to Shazam it or whatever. It's
Sometimes
right
it
there.
says it right
Yep.
there in the captions.
Hell
I'm like,
yeah.
Thank you.
And then when I found out that you can technically go to the movie theaters and watch them with captions, they'll give you like a pad with the movie on it, but with
What?
the captions on it. If you're hard of hearing, like if you're hearing
Yeah,
impaired,
that makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes
and I was
sense.
like, oh shit, because I was like, me and Ross talk about it all the time. If I could pay, I would pay an extra $2 to go in the theater and have the captions on the screen. Like if I'm already paying $8, I would pay $10. But that's how I am. Like I go to people's house, I put the captions on, then I leave. Like you let the fucking captions on my
Like,
TV.
I'll
How do I
piss
turn
off,
it
yeah.
off? It's like CC. Like it's not that. It's not fucking hard.
Options, closed caption.
Exactly. Like I try to be nice. I ask like, yo, do you mind if I put them on? But if I'm just chilling somewhere and they don't say nothing, I'm putting them things on. Like
Yeah.
especially like
People always turn them back off, and then I've had a couple people leave them on. They're like, "It's a lot better like that," but that's like 1%. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Everybody else is like, "No, I want to hear poorly."
And that's one thing too, like being at bars, I'm like, why aren't there captions on all these TVs?
Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah,
really
yeah.
trying to like read or understand what's going on, whether it's a movie or it's sports. Like, let me know what's actually happening. Like,
Yeah,
nah.
because they have the announcers, the captioning for the like, why you're trying to watch it, you want to hear, or
Exactly.
at least be able to read what's going on. And
Exactly.
most of them don't have it.
Exactly.
There are some bars that do it, or maybe one of the TVs has it, but
Yeah, I'm like,
why wouldn't you just do all of them?
exactly.
It doesn't make any sense.
Especially if you don't have them on where we can hear what's going on. At least put the captions on.
Yeah, exactly. Because at events they'll do like put it real loud, like UFC at
Yeah.
certain places. They'll put it
B-dubs
really,
or some shit like
they'll put
that.
it really loud so you can hear it. But most of the time, it's all silent.
Oh yeah, that's the thing too about anime. You just get used to reading.
Yeah,
Especially when you go through them periods when you're watching a lot of anime. So every time you look at a TV screen, your eyes are just waiting to read shit. Like you're
Yeah.
just trained about
Yeah.
it. Like
and my girlfriend hates the voices. Like she doesn't like the voices a lot of the times, and she'll like be on her phone. So I'll just turn it all the way down and just read it. And I'm
Hell
like, okay,
yeah.
I'm good.
And that'd be the-
I don't need the sound. I'll just read it. That's fine.
and be the funny part too. Like you know you're reading it in English, they're talking Japanese, but you hear it in your head as English.
Yeah.
So then when you do watch it dub, they either sound like what you thought, or they be like, this is not how I thought he or she was going to sound like.
We had to go watch. We watched the My Hero Academia movie in theaters, and they only had one showing left. It was the last day of the showings, and it was dubbed. And I'd never seen My Hero Academia dubbed, only subbed.
The
and
the first movie or the second one?
the first movie,
Oh.
and I was just like, the one bald-headed kid with his lisp. I'm like, why's he got a lisp? What are they doing? Like some
I
of the
never heard
characters
a
sound-
Japanese character have a list.
Yeah, exactly. And they
Do
had,
they even exist?
And we sat down and we started watching it, and it started going in English, and we were like, shit. It was the last showing. Like they did one day subbed, one day dubbed, one day subbed, one day dubbed, and it was just the last one. So we
yeah.
had to watch it, and it was still good. Like I didn't dislike it, but it was
Yeah.
just it was a different experience hearing it in
Oh,
English
don't-
when I've watched 3 seasons in Japanese.
Oh, don't feel bad. I started on My Hero dub because at that time
Did
and
you?
moment I had a.
So you heard the lispy ball headed kid.
Yeah, but 1 week Funimation did have the dubbed episode. Like, they simultaneously dropped the dubbed as the same time as Crunchyroll dropped the subbed episode.
Yeah.
So I had to go straight to Crunchyroll. You know how taken by surprise I had to see Deku say damn like 4 times back to back. And I'm just like, you don't say this in dubs. What are you? And then I had to be like, oh shit, I forgot. This Japanese culture. These little kids cuss a lot.
Yes.
Hell yeah. That's one thing too, like why I fucked with Toonami, like, you watch your shit on Crunchyroll Verve, one day it's sub, just wait till the weekend, rewatch it in dubbed on Toonami. It's like the same thing we did with Attack on Titan, My Hero, Dragon Ball Super, definitely, Dr. Stone, and fucking Fire Force. But Dr. Stone is one I won't watch it sub. I have to watch it dub because it's too
Really?
sciencey. It's too much science. It's too much
Wait,
science.
they don't have the science in the dub?
No, I'm
No,
saying it's
he's
easy for
saying
me to
he can't
understand the
read.
science. I can't read.
Oh, when it's dubbed?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I can't
gotcha,
read
gotcha.
all like because this little bit of water will do with the minerals. You know, Dr. Stone, so you
Yeah,
know how
yeah,
you be
yeah.
getting on to that shit. Like, nah, I need you to tell me that in English, bro.
Did you finish that one? Did you finish Dr. Stone?
Nah. I still need to fuck with this season 2 of Fire Force because I heard that shit popping.
Is it? I didn't. That's the one I didn't finish. Was Fire Force.
Word.
I got 10 episodes in or something like that.
Yeah,
It's
that-
good. It's definitely
yeah.
good. But like I said, it dropped in a year full of
Other
amazing
good shit.
anime. And I was
Exactly.
like, I'm watching everything
And the
else.
story itself isn't that complex, but visually it's dope. So it's like, if you want to watch something nice and shiny, Fire Force. But if you need something with that story, it's that Dr. Stone. So that's kind of like,
Yeah.
it was made
Yeah.
them like the perfect 1-2 punch, especially for the Toonami block. Like, all right, this shit, that's what the
Yeah,
story
because
arc
they-
is. But I want to see some action, some hands getting thrown out. Oh, Fire
Yeah,
Force
they
up
really
next.
did. They set you up with the action, then just be like, but there ain't no real story, just action. I want some story. Dr. Stone came on right after.
Dr. Stone goes into there trying to make a cell phone.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm done.
And he's just,
No. There's no tower. There's no. You know what? All right. And with that being said,
towers. He doesn't go to actual. He
we're
doesn't go
done.
and make a full cell phone.
we're
Just so you
we're
know.
done geeking out about Demon Slayer. And now we're gonna go to Yo Check It Out. So for all the people out there that have already seen Demon Slayer, we're gonna give out some of our recommendations for something else you should give a try. Davenport, what would you recommend for the people?
I just finished Tower of God.
Hmm.
Tower of God was a good. It's probably again. It's been a weak year for anime, but that's at one of the top ones. God of High School is also still coming out with episodes. That one's good. And
Oh yeah, Tower of God did just end this first season.
yeah,
didn't it?
Tower of God ended about a month ago. I'd like to say. And then season 2 of Fire Force, like you said, something to check out. They did come out with season 2 after it's been like 3 years of ReZero. If you guys have seen ReZero before, the first season was up and down, but ended on a really, really high note, really good. And they just came out with the season 2, and it took forever to come out with. I think that Time I Got Reincarnated as Slime just came out with a second season. If you haven't seen the
Word.
first season of that one's good too. Basically, a guy gets reincarnated as slime, and he basically absorbs a bunch of different stuff, and he basically keeps it all within himself, and he just stays as a slime, and he can kill monsters, absorb them, and take their skills basically. So he like kills a giant spider, then absorbs it, and then he can use silk and like
Word.
spit out silk and stuff like that. So that was a cool anime that came out last year as well. And
That's what's up.
second season starting up. So
Word.
a few good anime out there right now.
What about you, Ross?
Um.
You might not be able to name anything because Davenport just went through them all. But
No, I got. I got one. I got
Those
one.
are
I
just
mean,
anime. There's still movies and TV
Oh,
shows.
no,
and
I got one. I mean, this was probably gonna be for a different joint, but you ain't even start this anime yet, so it's gonna be a minute to talk about it. But I would recommend 91 Days. It's literally just about a kid. Technically, its stories follows a kid who spends 91 days killing the person that killed his family, all during Prohibition. And you just see his whole, how, like, this little 11-year-old kid, maybe 13, just said, fuck it, I'm gonna join this mob group only to kill the mob dude because he killed my mom and dad.
Is that an anime too?
Yeah, it's an anime.
Okay.
Word. That's
Yeah,
what's
it's
up.
just only once to get season, but literally shows like the whole 91-day process of him getting revenge.
That's what's
Revenge
up.
story is always good.
Word.
Yeah, it is.
Hell
Always
yeah, it
good
is.
revenge.
Somebody gotta die for a reason. With me, I'm just gonna go with an OG classic, and that's gonna be Ninja Scroll. Swords, monsters, blood, boobs. Can't go wrong.
And it was, and at that time, it was one of the best designed animes out there.
Oh yeah,
That was like one of the first movie
Yeah.
animated with there was another ninja, like Ninja Reincarnator or something like that came out that was, and I thought Ninja Scroll was like a continuation.
Yeah.
Nothing
Yeah.
like it. Ninja Scroll was 1,000 times better.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, they came out with a Ninja Scroll series too.
Yeah, I heard. Yeah, I never.
I haven't watched that one, but it's
never got into it, but I heard it's supposed to take place after the movie, right?
it's the same character.
Yeah.
So it goes through his story. I bought the DVDs for one of my friends for his birthday
Yeah.
or something like that, and I think he watched them. I never saw them, but I haven't heard too much about them. But I bet they're good. If the movie was that good, the movie was way up there.
Hell
Yes.
yeah, that's what's up. So yeah, guys, that's gonna bring the podcast to an end for this week. Davenport, once again, thank you for blessing us with your presence today and your information
Great
about.
being here.
Word, but for real though, like we appreciate it a lot. Always a pleasure being around you, man. Hopefully one day when this corona dies down, we can get back and doing trivia, man.
Yep.
Cause I've been missing some trivia.
Yeah, me too, man.
Hell yeah.
Travis,
And other thing too, you might not know about the boy Davenport. He's a Twitcher. You want to give the people your information?
Yeah, if you go to twitch.tv/nightnightkid, it's NITENIGHTKID. I'll be streaming every day pretty much. It's a late night stream from anywhere between 1 and 4 a.m. and I get off around noon. So 8-hour stream starting anywhere from 1 to 4 a.m.
Word. Bet. Once again, Daniel, thank you for being on. Getting our edits done.
Always.
Word. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this shit up?
Justice for Elijah Cummings.
Always.
Justice for Jacob Blake.
True.
Always remember to say her name. Justice for Breonna Taylor.
Yes, sir. And yes, guys. So this has been another episode of Yo, Where the Captions At, the most ridiculously random pop culture podcast in the 719. I'm yours truly, Kels for Show.
And I'm the one and only Roscoe Tinkoya.
And remember, guys, be one or be nothing.
Be kind, y'all.
Late.